everybody. Welcome to the Learn With Me series. My name is Ashley. I work for NVIDIA as the Omniverse community or connection evangelist. I flip-flop between those titles. Basically, what that means is I help developers learn how to use Omniverse so they can create extensions, connectors, apps, and explore different workflows and accelerate those workflows. So I like to do this stream to show how someone can jump into some kind of workflow to discover those things that they need to make tools for. So a lot of this is learning, which is why it's the Learn With Me series, which means if you see me struggling and you have an idea to move me forward, right or wrong, feel free to put it in the chat and we'll go from there. I stream every Monday and Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. I did not stream this last Monday because I live in South Florida and we have had crazy rain, which is pretty normal for this time of the year. And it has made my power just like all over the place. So I didn't stream on Monday just to be safe, to make sure that I wouldn't, suddenly disappear from the live stream. So here we are Wednesday. It is kind of sunny outside, so I'm not planning on my power shutting off. And yeah, let's get back into what we were doing last week though. Of course, before I do that, my housekeeping. I have this document that I've created for you all so I don't spam the chat with a million links. But in this document, I just have some reference links basically. First one is the community calendar. There are lots of things going on in the NVIDIA Omniverse community. I put my live streams on here, so if you are subscribed to this calendar, you get reminders of when I am streaming, when Eric Bowman is streaming his engineering, design, and Omniverse series, and Maddie is back from paternity leave, so he's been doing different developer office hours. He showed how to create a reminder extension in Omniverse, so that was a couple days ago or yesterday, I believe he wrapped that up. We have Isaac Sim doing a robotics weekly live stream. And then we have the regular Wednesday community streams with Edmar and Wendy. Today, we have like a little special one though. Christopher Scott, he is an Omniverse ambassador. He's going to be joining the live stream at 2 o'clock and doing a collaboration session with Umi Studio, which is I believe it's a virtual machine service platform. So he's going to be using that and do an overview of the interface and doing a little live sync. So that'll be really cool to watch. I'm excited to see how that goes. So check that out. That is right after me. So on Wednesdays, I cut my stream a little bit shorter than normal. Usually I stream for about an hour. So today I'll be like 45 minutes. What else is on this reference page? I have the SimReady Assets because that's what I've been working on for the past couple of streams. So that's the developer reference page, which also links you to Bo's GTC session, which is now on the NVIDIA On Demand. And then some Blender stuff for you to get started that I've been using to help me accelerate my workflow in Blender, different add-ons, some videos and some YouTube channels. I have been using Blender for some time to do lighting and animation and organic sculpture, but this is kind of my first real time using it for hard surface modeling. I've said this before. I tried to create a Pokedex using hard surface modeling techniques. It looked like a Pokedex, but the vertices and the edges were just all over the place. So UV unwrapping it for me was very difficult, and I ended up abandoning that. But I did use a lot of what I learned in that tutorial in this one. So this is what I have so far. It's what we have been working on. And in SimReady Assets, if y'all remember from the last streams, they are a digital copy of a real world object. And oh, my reference is gone. Let's get that. My material for this thing. For some reason, the link to it is gone. Let me see where I put it. I don't remember. Maybe it was in my downloads. Yes. So we were using this reference of a Rubbermaid Brute trash can. You know, if you went to the public schools here in the United States, y'all probably remember seeing this. I used to be a teacher, and I was an art teacher, so I had one of these giant ones on like a rolly platform in my classroom. So I'm pretty familiar with it, but I needed a reference photo, and that's like one of the most important things. In my past streams, this is part 3. So I have already done the blocking. I did low level detail modeling, and then I started the high level detail modeling. If you tuned into the last stream, you probably are looking at this and saying, wow, this is very different from what I did last time. I made very similar mistakes in this hard surface model that I did to the Pokedex, and the lid for my model, the edges were all over the place. Whenever I was trying to bevel something or create a loop and scale it, like the polygons would just go everywhere. So I spent almost all day yesterday cleaning up this model. I feel like I know why I made the mistakes. I think I was beveling too quickly. I was not following the best practices for blocking and sticking with low level details in the beginning. I moved to high level details too quickly. So I needed to slow myself down, and I didn't. So I created a lot of mistakes. So yeah, I fixed that. And I'm going to click the scan, and I did some subdivisions on it. So it does have a lot of edges and vertices. I am not quite sure if this is appropriate for SimReady. I don't know if it needs to be this subdivided or if it can be kept as like a low poly model. I am going to check with Bo or see if I can get in contact with the model or the artist Slava from the GTC session and see if they have a better idea. The reason that I subdivided it is because I really wanted to get this like nice smooth surface, and when I would add the solidify modifier, let me move my face out of the way. When I would add this solidify modifier, it didn't look really good until I started subdividing. So that's why I did it. Same thing with the lid. If I go into edit mode, you can see I have a lot of polygons here. So this model is a little bit, it's a big model. Yeah. And then I'll even show you, I did that, the same thing. I had a lot of trouble with getting that like handle shape. I'm still not very happy with it. It still looks like blocky and like obviously like a 3D model. So that's something I would like to work on in the future. But for the sake of this, I just wanted to go with this and like start moving forward, so we didn't have like 8 parts to this series. So I did all this off stream. Today, what I would like to do is start working on the UVs. I found a really great tutorial on unwrapping UVs on hard surface models. This is also in the reference. It's at the bottom here. So I watched this video. It's by Josh Gambrell, and I'm going to try to follow that workflow. So we're going to do that today. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. There was this awesome blog published by my project manager, Maria, and Akil from the synthetic data generation team. They did like a step-by-step on how to train a model for defect detection using synthetic data and Omniverse's replicator. So that is also in the reference document that I linked. It's this blog here, and it shows you like step-by-step with videos and explaining what all of this does, using Substance 3D Designer to create scratches, and then train a model using all of these variant of scratches that were exported from Substance Designer. Like, this is really, really cool. So you'll want to check that out. This was published just on Monday, so it's brand new. All right, so there's that. Let's go ahead and get started on the UV wrapping. Does Blender support subdivision surfaces? Can be a really good way to work as if low poly with ends up smooth results. I'm not like super familiar with hard surface modeling and using subdivisions. I'm more familiar with like Dynamesh and subdividing the multi-resolution of it using like the organic sculpture. So I am probably not the best person to ask. I will say that I tried to use the subdivision surface modifier and my model just like kind of crumbled. So I ended up just going to I think it was faces. No. I went to edge here in edit mode and I clicked subdivide and I subdivided like 3 or 4 times. And it just like took my loops and my vertices and stuff and just subdivided it, which now I have this like weird, this is created from the smoothing modifier. Another thing I would love to figure out why it's doing that. And like this weird thing, when I go into edit mode, the solidify thickness like looks super weird. This is like from the modifier. It's not even, there's not even edges of it. So some research that needs to be done, but it does look nice at least. Oh, I did this animation. I think it'd be better to have a low poly model because you see how slow this is going. Like, look at my frames per second. My model's like, there's so many polys in it. Even with my multi GPU, it's just really struggling. So the lower polys, the better. But I made a rookie mistake and I did not duplicate my model when I had a low poly version and then work off the duplication for a high poly model. Oops. So I don't have my low poly model anymore. My bad. That was a rookie mistake. Don't make that one. All right, let's go ahead and do the UVs. So right now my UVs are really hideous, and that's because my seams are not good. I'll show you what they look like. So if I go into edit, and select all, look how that is really dense. Oh goodness, it is so dense. But yeah, this is my UVs. So hard to see. And I guess it's not like really bad. Let's add how do you do the UV texture? I feel like I've seen it before. There's usually like a little quick one. Let me see if I can Google it. UV checkerboard material blender. Go to image, new image, and choose UV test grid. I have forgotten how to add an image. How do I do it to the plane? Okay, I did it here. I don't remember how I did that. As you can tell, I do not work with Blender materials very often. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google it because I've completely forgotten. How to add a material. So let's skip through this. Oh, you click the little. Oh my gosh, so simple. Of course, you click this little thing. Image texture, checker texture. There we go. So I think this is where, see, that's all like warped. So let's go into the UV. And in that workflow I saw in the video, it was like go to select, select sharp edges, and then you do Control E and you mark seam. How's that look now? Go back to that video. He did the cylinder over here. Okay, so he gave it like I guess seam down the middle too. Well, yeah, I've got so many blue edges, like that's gonna be really difficult to. I don't even have an edge that like goes all the way up. So do I need to like? How would I make this seam? UV unwrapping is the worst thing ever. I guess here. I'm gonna have to manually connect these, I think, with the knife tool. Okay. Did it go all the way around? Nope. I'm gonna undo that. I'm not sure how to mirror it. It like goes all the way around the whole thing. That's probably why I should have done this when I had it as a low poly. Let's do it right at the edge of this, so like I can align it on both sides. Oh no, where'd the one go over here? Hey, bird. Okay, now I gotta connect those with a knife. lesson learned for all of you when you complete your homework. Don't subdivide before creating your seams and stuff. And maybe don't subdivide as much as I did. All right, I need to find my edges. I don't even know where that seam went. I'm gonna undo all this. It's like this weird texture warping, like right here. Everything else is weakening on this. Bird, you missed part 2? Or do you mean you missed Monday? Because I did not stream on Monday. And then since I didn't stream, I just like worked on this off stream and like fixed the lid because the lid was super messed up. I made a bunch of mistakes. And then I subdivided it so I didn't have to like spend a whole stream doing that. Which I probably should have done on stream because maybe someone could have stopped me from subdividing it so much. And I also did not duplicate my low poly model before I started working on my high poly. So now I don't have my low poly anymore. Well, hopefully I don't spend all... I probably will though. I'll spend this whole time just like trying to create a loop for a seam. I want to extend it from like this one, but I can't. Maybe I'll just like pick this one. Oops, I want to click the edges. That will be a seam, so Control E, mark seam. This one too. Oh, it doesn't like select all the way up. Or does it? Is there a selection there? Can barely tell. How far does that go? Not very far. All right, Control E. That one goes all the way down, I think. Yep. Okay, Control E again. What's this look like now? I'm excited about generative AI becoming more of a thing because I know eventually AI will be able to just unwrap these models so much easier. I think this is every artist's pain point. So when I went back to school, I went back to school for developing. I was like modeling a bunch of stuff. I was working in like a 3D printing studio, so I'd never had to worry about UVs. And then I was like, well, you know, maybe I want to do this as a career. And so I was thinking about going back to school for 3D artistry and like actually like learn how to model for level of detail and like high poly, low poly, like retopology and stuff. And UV unwrapping was like a big component because I had only done a little bit and was really struggling with it. And then I decided to go back to school for developing instead. Okay. I watched a video earlier on how to like do retopology on like a high poly organic model. And thank goodness we don't have to do that for SimReady Assets either. Because that is like the amount of work that goes into that alone is it's probably like more time than you have for just modeling itself. And it must be so hard to do because the modeling softwares that I know of don't have like automatic retopology that works really well. I think ZBrush has like some kind of automation tool for it, but it whenever I've used it, it doesn't like look that good. So I know it's like a really difficult thing to do. Hopefully Gen AI can fix that. That didn't really fix this like weird warping I have. I wonder why. What is that? Oh, it's this. It's this right here. Wait, but they're not seams. Is it because like I don't understand. If these are seams, that's what UVs I'm so confused about. Why is it warped like this? If I marked the seam, shouldn't it like unwrap this? And it's so difficult to see because my mesh is so dense. That sucks. Yeah, if I guess it's like not like that bad for what I'm doing because for my SimReady asset, like it's a trash can. So, not the best practice though to have like really bad UVs. But if I'm just like creating like a gray texture and like it'll have like some noise to it, do you think the noise will be warped in these areas where it's like super noticeable? Obviously, this is not an asset that I would want to monetize, but for the sake of just like moving forward to the USD conventions, I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's like unwrap the lid at least. Oops, this one. Maybe between today and Monday, I'll do some more off-stream stuff and like try to figure it out. This one, select sharp edges and Control E, mark seam. Let's give it the UV texture. That doesn't look bad. Doesn't matter what it looks like underneath. I guess not terribly, but that looks fine. Everything's like even. These are not consistent. They should match with the ones next to them, right? Like the gray should be with this gray. Okay, I'm definitely not going to be doing the best UV practices, but for the sake of just it being gray, like I'm saying that's good. Let's do these ones now. See how this one doesn't have as many polys? Like I probably should have left my trash can like that. That looks good too. Nothing seems to be... is this like warping? It's not like a square. Is that like some warping to the texture? Or is that just the way I'm viewing it? It's hard to tell. And that video on Bo's GTC session of Slava doing his UVs, like... I know the modeling took him 11 hours alone, so I imagine the UV unwrapping took like a couple hours too. And okay, I think that's like some warping. Is there another? Where can I add like another seam? I'm not really sure if it's that important. I don't think it is. You know what? I'm gonna go back to this lid and like see what I can do to better it. Oh, I still need to do these ones. Let's do these first. Oh my god, this is super dense. I probably shouldn't have done that either. Oh. Select sharp edges, Control E, mark seam. Ooh. There's a lot of warping on this one. This is really bad. I did try to like unsubdivide my model, but it made my topology like really bad. Like the polygons were like n-gons, and which mean they weren't like quads or triangles. They were just kind of all over the place. So I'm wondering if there's like a better, if I have all these, if I like subdivided like all of this, is there a way to go back down? Or because I made that mistake of not getting my low poly model first and then duplicating to make my high poly model, like I tried this. I'll show you. I clicked unsubdivide. Oh, I think I need to select all. See? Well, I guess these are triangles. But that's not what I don't know. And then it goes from quads to triangles. I don't think that's good. It doesn't seem like it would be good. So it's definitely less dense. Like this is probably better. So when you guys were doing yours, like I think larger squares would look a little bit better. Larger quads than having as that dense mesh that I did. Whoa, look at the floor. And then this is definitely not, this is not what you want. Like I've n-gone, so these are, it's a diamond shape. I wonder if there's a way to, I did also try to like remesh it too, and yeah, no. What about triangulate? Convert all polygons to triangles. Let's try it. Shortest diagonal. Keep normals. Alt J after that to untriangulate. Alt J. Alt J like did this. Are these, did it select seams? Or I don't know what that did. Oh, it says it at the bottom. Tries to quads. Max face angle 40 degrees. I don't know what that is, what that means. Compare seam, compare sharp. Or do I do this first? Triangulate and then Alt J? This doesn't look like it's doing anything, does it? Is it doing anything? Fixed, largest diagonal, longest diagonal, shortest diagonal, fixed alternative, or alternate, fixed. I'm not really sure what this is doing. So, and the NGOD method doesn't really do anything. All right. So I really want to fix this model. What happened on the floor here? I'm going to undo what I did. Yeah, it's like way too many. It's too dense of a model, I think, is the problem. What time is it? Oh man, it's 1:43. All right, sorry guys, didn't get very far, but thing I learned today that is your homework when you're creating your SimReady asset. 1, don't make the rookie mistake of going from your low poly model to your high poly model without duplicating your low poly. So if you make a mistake, you can go back. 2, check out that video by that guy Josh Gramble where you select your edges, your sharp edges, and you can mark your seams using Control E, and that makes for easy unwrapping and adding that checkerboard texture. So yeah, on Monday, hopefully we can move forward with this UV unwrapping and I can get a less dense model for you, and we can start moving forward with USD conventions. Yeah, the model is so dense. This is what I do for you all. I suffer and make mistakes live on stream. All right, in 15 minutes, Christopher Scott is coming on to show off the Yumi Studio and using that for live collaboration in Omniverse. So check that out. I will be back on Monday. Again, your homework is start unwrapping your model and don't make the mistakes I made. All right, so see you all Monday. Thanks for joining and helping me out. Check y'all then. Bye.